Hi, so in today's presentation we're going to talk about the Shamir autograph intelligence. So the first thing is we looked at what is today's progressive designs, how do they work, what do they do? And today's design concept is the same design across the entire progressive for all patients. All you're trying to do is get back to that one design with the different additions and things you're trying to do with it, but it all comes from that one central point. So what we want to look at was, does this one design concept satisfy everyone's needs? But to truly understand what that is, we actually need to know what are everyone's needs. So what we wanted to do is look at what people in other industries are doing. How are they utilising new technology to improve their products? And two of the really big things that came across to us as being useful in this space were big data and artificial intelligence. They're used by so many companies now, tech companies, to really help improve their product and their understanding. So I guess the question is, you've probably heard of big data and heard of artificial intelligence, but actually what are they? What do they do? How do they work? Why are we using them in the products? So artificial intelligence is a way of making computer programs that can think and react in a way that a human would, and get as close as possible to that. And what this allows us to do is to create designs virtually that the program can then assess as a human would, and give us the right directions to take our design concepts and what we actually do in terms of the progressive design. Big data, on the other hand, is looking at huge amounts of data and finding the trends and finding the right direction within that data to actually take your products to see things from a much bigger point of view, and then be able to drill down into what the trends are that will actually make a difference to people. So for us at Shamir, the big data part was actually easy to get hold of, because every single lens that we make goes through our prescriptor program, which is how each lens is created, and that gave us this data set. We had over 5 million RX orders that we could look at for progressives, so we could see the most common powers, the most common additions, and work out really where people are actually using it, the main parts we need to target when designing a progressive lens. So using that big data analysis, we then correlated the addition to people's chronological age, which is a well-known thing, and they'd also allowed us to look at the spread of the additions across the range of progressives that people order. I mean, it won't be a massive surprise to see that the 2-ad and up to sort of a 250, 275 is the majority of progressives, because a lot of people won't go into progressives until they're further along the ad scale, perhaps, and those wearers there are people that have been wearing it for a long time, so it's quite a key sort of area for us to look at for those. So we, as I say, we split every edition into a visual age, and that's what informed our decision making process going forward. So then we decided that we really needed to get, as part of this big data, was consumer research and evaluating what actually customers and patients needed from their lenses. How do they use them day to day? So the first step of this was consumer research of there were 1,300 people, and then after we'd done that, we then drilled down into doing some intensive work with 130 people, so 10% of the initial starting point. And what we looked at is, what do they do in terms of daily activities, and we actually evaluated these properly in terms of real life situations, how long they did each of these activities for. And what we looked at was driving and outdoor, which is the visual need of far. We had the frequency of switching from one vision zone to another, which was a switch distance frequency. We had the computer use, which is what we'd now class as traditional intermediate. Smartphone and tablet uses, which is digital reading, and then reading of books, newspapers, printed traditional media, and that was the near. So looking at the near, what you can see from this graph here is that as people's chronological age increases, and therefore their visual age, as that increases, the amount of hours they spend a week using traditional printed media in that near zone increases a lot. It goes from 1.9 hours a week average up to 10.2 as you go through the age ranges. So people in different age range, different visual age, are going to need something different. If you then look at the digital, and this is hours per day, that's the opposite. You're looking at the 40 to 45-year-old age group using an average of 3.9 hours a day on digital. People are spending huge amounts of time on their phone and tablet. This isn't a massive surprise to anybody, I wouldn't have thought, but it just goes to show that as you move through the lens and as you move through the progression of age groups, we need something different. The intermediate, like I said, that computer distance there, that's reasonably constant in terms of an overall picture. You go from 5.37 hours to 5.41 with a little peak at 6. That's between 40 all the way up to 60, and then it does start to slope off as people begin to go into that retirement age group. The switch distance frequency, this is how many times people are moving between different zones, and we measure that based on more than 5 times in an hour. So these are people, when you're thinking people watching TV, looking at their phones at the same time, looking at a tablet, that kind of thing. People are just constantly changing focus, and that is a lot. The 40 to 45-year-old and the 45 to 50, they're spending a lot of their time switching between different distances. And then lastly, we come to the far, that driving distance vision, and that's actually pretty consistent. People want a lot of far vision, which was really good for us at Shamir to confirm something that we've always done, which is that we always start our progressives with that clear distance vision as the main starting point, because if people can't see clearly straight ahead as soon as they put on their lenses, there's going to be more chance of them not liking the experience. So we always start with that clear distance zone and then move on from there with the lens. So putting all of those together, we then create the visual needs of each age group, of each visual age, of each edition. And as you can see here, it does vary a lot as you go through from an 075 ad all the way up to a 350. There's huge changes in what people need from their lenses due to their visual requirements. So we then obviously need to look at how we can design a lens to satisfy these people, to give them what they're after in that progressive. So with a current progressive design, we started at the very beginning with how does one design work for everybody at the moment? And if you currently look, everything is based on a 2 ad. All designs are based on this 2 ad. Everybody, regardless of 075 ad up to a 350, they're getting it based on that same 2 ad in the beginning. So that's what you see on the left hand side here. And now as you look on the right hand side, what you're actually seeing is the visual needs according to the research. So what people are actually asking for is on the right, and what they're actually getting is on the left. And you can see that doesn't work. They're not the same. So to show you the gap of everybody, what we've got here is you've got 1 ad, 2 ad, and a 3 ad. And what you can see is the difference between what they're actually getting on the left of each one and what they actually require on the right. And you can see on the 1 ad, they're not getting enough switch distance. That's not built into the lens. They're getting way too much traditional intermediate and not enough for the smartphone. And then you go to the opposite end there of the 3 ad, and you can see that they're not getting enough intermediate, and then they're getting way too much smartphone and not enough near vision. So today's current way of doing progressives doesn't work properly for all these different needs of people with their different visual aids. So what do we do with autograph intelligence? What do we do that's different? How do we make this lens meet these needs for people? Well, we take all of that knowledge into our design, and then we combine it with some of our proven existing technologies. So we use IntelliCorridor, which is our power profile that we use on different lenses. We use As1 Quadro, and this gives you really stable designs, even if you don't take the bespoke measurements for the patient. The progressive will always perform better if you can take those measurements. But if you don't do it, or if you do it and you're slightly out, As1 Quadro is that backup. It gives you really great performance with a very stable design, even without those very accurate measurements. Natural posture. This is our ergonomic design. It uses changes the prism in the lens so that hyperopes and myopes still get the great natural reading position. They're not having to move their head at all. You're not having to change corridor because you've got a different prescription for somebody. And then close up. This is the ability to adjust the reading zone. This is your ability to adjust the reading zone on your lens. You can give how much inset that patient needs. So somebody's got a larger PD, they may well converge more than somebody with a smaller PD, or if you've got an amblyopic patient, do they converge at all? So you've got the opportunity with this lens to actually set that and get a much more accurate and much better overlap of the reading fields, get much better performance in the near vision. So Shamir EyePoint technology is in all of our more advanced progressives, And now within Autograph Intelligence, we have EyePoint Technology AI, which is using a new software and hardware with our head and eye integrated movement. We can actually track the exact areas of a lens that a patient will look through. And that enables our designers to put clear vision where you need it, the ability to put the soft focus where you're not going to use that part of the lens to get you a much better performing lens. It's really been very insightful for our designers to have this new technology. We've got continuous design technology. As you can see from where we've been showing you with the visual age of what people need, the design moves along gradually to meet the needs of people. It's a different design for each visual age based on what they require, but it's on a sudden jump every time. So it allows people that if they're slightly over, if their ads a bit higher than their age would normally suggest, they're still going to get a lens which is going to be close to what they require in a perfect scenario. It's certainly going to be better than going for a generic progressive lens designed in the traditional way. So looking at traditional design, you've got your one design there. You can put in all your bespoke measurements, and that's it. You've got that one design with these different parts, you know, your fitted vertex distance, your lens shape, size. What we have with Shamir Autograph Intelligence is a different design for each of the ad powers, each of the visual needs with your visual age, and then you can put those bespoke parameters in it. It gives you a much more tailored lens, really fitting the needs of that patient. We can do all of this now because of our visual AI engine, and this is our artificial intelligence concept that allows us to put these different design parameters in, and the program actually thinks as a person would and creates these designs exactly for each visual age very accurately. So how does Shamir Autograph Intelligence benefit your patients? It's an easy entry into progressive lenses. So it's a very easy way. If you can get someone straight in at the top with excellent performance, that's the best way to get somebody into the lenses. Because of the way the lens is designed, you get instant focus for every distance. It's designed to work with the way that the patient wants to use the lens. It's very quick and easy to adapt to. Because it's such a high performing product, the soft focus zones are really reduced, so it's very quick for someone to adapt to it. You have this smooth transition between zones. You remember one of the things we looked at was the switch distance frequency, how often people are moving between different parts, and that really translates into having this smooth transition between the different visual zones. Because you can take the unique measurements for this for your patient and combine that with the visual age, you get a really unique experience for each patient. And because it's been optimally designed for the 5 needs of the patient that we spoke about at the beginning, that you know the patient's going to get that exact amount of viewing for each part that they want. So how will AI benefit your business? Well, it allows you to have a different option from your competitors. It allows you to be able to offer something that they don't. It gives you the ability to dispense the very best progressive lens without time-consuming dispensing needs in terms of questionnaires or things you need to do on a tablet or any of this stuff where you're asking patients how often they do things or to rate the importance of things. That can be quite difficult for them to drill down to and actually give you a realistic answer. Whereas with Shamir Autograph Intelligence, we've done that research, we've done it properly in real life with people, so you can then get the benefits without having to take that time and practice yourself. It gives you the ability to have an increased product from a product that truly delivers. You can charge accordingly for this product because you can have the confidence that it's going to work. And as soon as you dispense some in practice, you'll see that and you'll see the performance, and it will give you that true belief. It gives you the ability to move your offering up. If you're top-down selling and your top starts higher because you have a better performing product, then instantly your entire offering's moved up. And we also have the use of the Optician Award logo. In the UK, we're really happy to win that award for this product. It's the second time we've won an Optician Award for Lens Product of the Year, and that's something that you can have on the product, something we put in our marketing material as well, just to give your customers, your patients, that reassurance so that it's a. So as I say there, the Optician Award winner 2019, Shamir Autograph Intelligence. Thank you for your time. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us.